Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? How are you all doing? Ooh, we are getting there, aren't we? We are almost done with this course. I'm gonna change the music really quickly to something a little bit more scholarly, I guess. Let's get some cosmic harmony study music. Bingo. A bug made me cry for 30 minutes, even after I fixed it. What was the bug? What was the bug, Alerv? A stink bug. Oh, that would explain it, wouldn't it? All right. We are really close to being done, aren't we? That P3 beta that you just submitted last night was your penultimate deliverable. You only have one left, and you're working on it right now. Your P3 Gold. And when that's done, when we hit the showcase, we're there. All right. You're very, very close, team. So I know everyone's really fatigued right now, and I know it can be hard to find the energy sometimes, but this is crunch time, okay? This is when you can take this product that you've been pouring yourself into for the last 6 or 7 weeks, and you can really make it work for you, okay? We'll finish strong, and you will be very happy you did. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started right away. We've got a number of announcements to go through. We've got a lot to accomplish by the end of next lecture, so we're going to go ahead and move. Okay, so Virtual Showcase, it's coming up. It's next Wednesday. It starts at 7 p.m. EST, and there's no lecture that day. But if you look at the schedule, you'll see that we actually want you there a little bit early. We want you at the showcase a little bit early at about 6. The main crowd will be there at 7. The hour from 6 to 7 is when you can be, checking your game page, make sure all the links work, make sure nothing's broken, make sure that your itch.io game is released and that it works. There's no soft lock when the player hits the main menu. That's what you're going to want to do at 6, okay? We'll go over the showcase procedure on Monday. Until then, be sure to share the Facebook event. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and post this this agenda. Oh, it's already posted, so you can get these links right now if you want. Make sure to share the Facebook event, share the link to the event, tell your friends and family, and even managers if you're going to an internship or if you're joining a team after this course is done. Let them know so that they can come and be proud of your efforts. You have a lot to be proud of this semester, particularly with this last deliverable. My goodness. Chat, I've got a question for you. Could you feel it? Could you feel it when you submitted those P3 betas that you submitted? Because the games took such a big step in this past week that it is hard to believe. The quality has just went through the roof. Half the other playtesters did. So you have a lot to be proud of, so make sure that you share this event, okay? All right, evaluations. Oh, and by the way, you need to register for the showcase by Monday, okay? Register for the showcase by Monday or early Monday, hopefully. You can update it later, but we need some initial materials so that we can get the early version of the showcase website up with all of your games. Then you can check it, see how it looks. You can submit other stuff if you want to. This will probably take someone on your team about 20 to 30 minutes to fill out, okay? Especially if you don't have your images and marketing assets prepared quite yet. So make sure that you don't sleep on the showcase registration, or the staff will have to reach out and find you, okay? All right. Evaluations are out, so make sure that you fill those out. Not only do they get you extra credit, for every, I believe, 10% of the course that fills out evals, everyone in the course gets additional points. So not only are you going to get extra credit by filling out these evals, but your feedback is extremely important. Like I've said before, your ideas that you provide in the evals are a humongous source of the changes and tweaks and rebalancing that we make, our patches between semesters for this course. So we really appreciate you helping us iterate this course further and further and make it better and better and better. So thank you very much, team. We appreciate it. A quick little fun diversion here. This is a game called Sonic Adventure, in particular Sonic Adventure DX. Hooke's Law. You remember the really nice juicy spring formula that can be used in games to make things, to just make them look a little bit juicy, organic, spring-like. I'm going to show you this brief clip of a stage called Skydeck in this game, and I want you to be on the lookout for Hooke's Law, okay? It's a very short clip, and I think you'll notice, okay? Let's see if you do. Did you miss it? Did you miss it, chat? Did you see it? Chat, help me out. Where did you just see Hooke's Law being used? The charge? Not quite. When Sonic charges and those particles go into the character model, that's not quite it. It's not quite it. I'll show you again, okay? A little bit quieter this time. It's the turret. It's the turret in the background. So when the turret shoots, the actual gun goes back and forth into the body of the turret, boom. And as a result, the turret feels like it has this impact to the shot, right? You shoot out a huge bullet, and, you know, Newton's laws, we've got to have some recoil with that. So anyway, very, very fun stuff. And then I think you blow up that turret. It's pretty cool. Boom. Yes! And then you get this super jarring, like, you get this insta-jarring transition to a loading screen that lasts way too short, and then you have an insta-jarring transition to the gameplay. So this is to say that if your P3 game has scene transitions, then you can say, and not technically be wrong, that you have elements of polish that one of the biggest game companies in the world did not have, when many would argue they were at the height of their prime. So anyway, let's go ahead and get back to it. Okay, so yay, wonderful. Okay, so assignments, right? You had your P3 beta due and your P3 marketing draft. We're going to watch all these marketing drafts in just a sec, okay? And you're all going to be dumping your feedback into the Twitch chat as fast as you can type, okay? So we're going to watch through all those, get you your feedback really quickly. This week, you're working on P3 Gold. And this is fairly similar to your previous deliverables with some extras, okay? This is a deliverable that tends to be focused more on the marketing aspect rather than the game itself. The game needs to receive little bits of polish and tweaking, and it needs to have its technical issues removed and a lot of playtesting done. But you probably shouldn't be adding too many new features to your game at this point, okay? Every time you add something new into your game, there's a high chance something is going to break, and we do not want to send invest all of this time and effort into your game for 6 or 7 weeks, and then oops, there's a soft lock that ruins the showcase for our game. That means a lot of that effort, unfortunately, is going to go to waste. We have to really hedge against that. So a lot of playtesting this week, a lot of just only technical fixes, stuff like that, okay? This week, the big new thing is your itch.io, okay? So itch.io is a really cool website that I think is more popular than IndieDB by a long shot and TigSource. It is a place where you can get, many thousands of plays if you're lucky. Downloads. And so you want to put your best foot forward on itch. Let me actually, I think we have some really good references down there. Itch.io, you want to release the game on the day of the showcase on itch.io. The reason you want to do this, make your page public, is because that is the day that all of the traffic will flow in to your itch.io page and download. That will tell itch.io's algorithms that this is a really popular game that's being played, which means you'll hit the front page, which means that you have a really good chance of attracting a lot of attention. So you want to create an itch.io page this week, but do not publicly release it. Keep it restricted, okay? Keep it restricted and password locked. Only people who enter the password, which needs to be showcase, will be able to enter your page and play your game, okay? And then the day of the showcase, you release, boom, you get a ton of plays, and who knows what could happen? Maybe a publisher reaches out, wants to offer you a deal. That could be really cool. Please look at the references, the high-quality references in this little section down here for what we're looking for. A high-quality itch.io page usually has some piece of art or some cool screenshot at the top or some cool GIF. And then it has additional screenshots that kind of show off what kind of game this is. Gameplay. It is usually themed, right? So if you've got kind of a darker colored game with a lot of really deep blues and pinks, then the background might want to be a dark color, right? Wow, yeah, and so this page is a great page, and this is a great game. And so as a result, they had a ton of interactivity down here. Let's take a look at Yoked. Hard Boiled Studios. This was a 494 team. They just knocked it out of the park. They've got this cool little logo up here, the excruciating journey of an egg. They have a video trailer, right? You'll have to have your video trailer in here so that people can quickly see what your game is about. You'll want to have GIFs. We've got one here that looks pretty cool, eye-catching. You'll want to have images that kind of show off the gameplay really well. And you'll want to have credits and stuff like that, okay? And then you'll get some interaction. Okay, let's look at circuitry. So circuitry. right? Really cool art that hits you right away. This is very engaging immediately. You've got a trailer, you've got a lot of GIFs that show off different weapons, different enemies. These GIFs need to be under 3 megabytes in size. And that's really hard. That means they have to be short, and they have to be compressed and shrunk. The easiest way to do that is easygif.com. This is a website that seems like perfectly suited to helping you create GIFs and resize them when they're too big and compress them. You can take a video that you recorded, maybe in OBS, and you can kind of crop it to the section that you want to become a GIF, and then you can compress it from there and turn it into the GIF that you need for itch.io, okay? All right. This stuff really matters, team, and I'm not kidding. Your game, your efforts this semester, they won't mean as much if we don't put effort into the marketing and getting our game into other people's hands. It's that famous phrase, right? If there's a game out in the woods and no one plays it, is there really a game, right? So you need to make sure that people play the game after you've invested so much time in it. Okay, so anyway, I'll stop talking about this. The last thing I'll say is that this stuff really matters, and I'm not kidding. Teams really do get publishing deals right out of college. The Yoked team, and you just saw their itch.io page not long ago, they essentially followed what is in this Student Games Publishing Guide. They helped me create this Student Game Publishing Guide. And they got a publishing deal in 5 figures based off of that. And I have to imagine, even if you don't really, even if you don't see your future as running your own game studio, having on your resume that you made a game that received a 5-figure publishing deal, that's going to make it a lot easier to get interviews, and it's going to give you a lot to talk about if you want to one day work for a company like Nintendo or EA or Activision. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the course here. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, a lot of Sonic Adventures charm. A lot of the 3D Sonic games charm come from their really tiny deficiencies, I find. Okay, so yeah, make sure that you set your itch.io page to restricted mode. Never set it to public, okay? Or the other options, and you should be fine. Okay, you'll release it on the showcase day, and hopefully you'll have a ton of people playing your game from all over the internet, not just the showcase goers. All right, so I think that's just about it. Remember, on tigsource.com, the mods will get mad at you if you create a new thread. Don't do that. And if you forget to post images and videos and put some effort into your post, okay? So make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're going to lose points from us as well. Okay, I think that's just about it. And for P3 Gold, you need to complete the showcase registration form. We will announce an early version of the showcase website, probably Monday, midday, so that you can, probably just after lecture, so that you can kind of see what your game looks like before it goes live. Okay? All right. That's that. So you're currently working on your P3 marketing final, which will require you to take the trailer that you've recorded. Chances are you'll want to record some footage to try and get a higher frame rate. And you might also want to turn certain things off, like text and UI. Text and UI is usually not a good thing to show in a trailer. If you go watch a trailer, Super Mario Odyssey, big game trailers, they usually don't include their UI elements until at the very end, maybe, when they're showing just raw footage. But often never. Okay, so showcase registration, All right, I think that's just about it. Use this game publishing guide if you want to try and get your game published. Okay, a lot of your games, these games are really, really fun, and with a bit more time, they could potentially do very, very well on the Nintendo eShop, on Steam, on Xbox, on PS4. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch some trailers. Today, one of our main objectives is going to be to go through your marketing trailers and get you as much feedback as possible. You can then take this feedback and use it to iterate your final trailers, okay? And it's really worth doing that because it's going to essentially determine how many people play your game, okay? And what recruiters think of your game and your efforts and your portfolio when they find this trailer on your portfolio website later, okay? Okay, so first up, we have, oh, and by the way, here's the way we're going to do this. We got to go really fast, all right? So we're going to watch the trailer once, and then I'm going to turn it on a second time. I will talk about my feedback, but you, chat, I'm talking to you, chat, you need to quickly dump all of your thoughts as they come into your head into the chat, okay? Those of you who, devs, come, go watch the Twitch recording to see all the feedback that you got from all of the Twitch chat members, okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and give it a watch. First up, we're going backwards this time. First up, we have Zero Studio. Let's take a look.
Lost Soul is a story of a ghost's journey to reclaim his memories of the abandoned house he used to live in. You must use spectral skills to possess and move objects, and explore the abandoned house to discover what your life was like before your tragic fate. Beware, you may not be alone in this house. Avoid the ghost hunter and resolve your cloudy past so that you may finally rest in peace, or forever be a lost and forgotten soul.
Okay, that's awesome. This is a great trailer. I think that there are some things that could improve it. The audio is really atmospheric, but you can barely hear the background audio. So I encourage you to raise both the narration volume and the background audio volume so we can really get that creepy vibe that's sitting there in the background. I don't think the trailer focuses on the fact that you can possess objects, and it also focuses on the fact that you're being hunted by the paranormal person, but it doesn't really make it obvious that this is all about solving puzzles. So I encourage you to show a brief clip showing off that puzzle combination in the bathroom where you need to play the piano certain keys, okay? That will make it very clear that you are solving puzzles in this game. All right. Well done. Very, very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next trailer here. Next up, we have Toasty Line Studio. Let's take a look.
Bookie, wake up! There's no time for sleeping! The evil wizard has returned to steal the secrets of magic from the library. Worst of all, he's turned all sorts of creatures and things to the side. Stop him, Bookie, before it's too late! Using the power of knowledge stored within the magic tomes, cast powerful spells to take down your foes. Or, focus to combine their powers to create even stronger effects. In this action deck builder, no mouse, skull, or dragon can stop Bookie on his path to the top. This is A Grimoire's Tale.
All right. So that was a good trailer. That was a good draft. There's no background music at the beginning, so it sounds a little bit weird. You just have the narrator talking and explaining the plot and context, but there's no like da 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 da. There a little bit of quiet, like intense music in the background would help that out a lot. This is an interesting shot. You see a lot of bullets flying everywhere. But when the narrator says stack, combine effects, you don't actually get to see any instances of that very clearly. There's just stuff flying everywhere. I would encourage you to slow down a little bit and say, you can combine spell effects. Combine the big block with the assault to get 3 big shots. Combine the triple shot with corrosion to get reoccurring damage. Explore 10 other combinations in A Grimoire's Tale. You can get a lot of time back. You're at 45 seconds, but you can get a lot of time back by cutting into these ending cards. It looks like about 10 seconds is spent on the ending card here, and you probably only need like 2. So anyway, all right. Okay, well done, team. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have Studio Spades.
stranded. Who would have thought a place so beautiful could be so dangerous? Fight enemies. Collect parts to fix your ship. And go home. But be careful, because if you aren't, you may be stranded here forever. Do you have what it takes?
All right. So that was a very short trailer, team. That was a very short trailer, and there's a lot more you can show. I think so. So at the beginning of the game, the narrator says you're stranded on an alien, remote island, remote planet. I think you should immediately launch into you must collect parts to fix your ship, manage your ship's coolant levels to prevent explosions, and defeat enemies as you explore. Right? I recommend starting with the main objective and describing that first, instead of saving the part collection and ship repair for kind of the middle. That will kind of prioritize the player's objectives in their mind. I recommend that you also include some information about the second quest line that you can do, where you are going from house to house and you're uncovering a little bit of a mystery about what happened on this planet and why it's so desolate, and you're getting upgrades. I think there's a lot more that you can do with this trailer, and you have 15 more seconds that you can use. I recommend you use them. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. This is a good draft trailer, team, but I think we can fill it out. I think we can rearrange things a little bit. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, next up we have Studio Clubs.
Welcome to Kingsguard, the royal strategy game where you manage resources and command troops in order to kill the assassin before he kills you first. The night is dark and full of enemies. These watchtowers really come in handy. Your scouts are fast, but weak. Good thing your knights pack a punch. The enemy can approach you from this many angles? Who designed this thing? Kingsguard, releasing soon on Mac and Windows.
All right. Okay. Well done, team. That's a good draft. At the beginning here, the trailer starts out and it's very confusing right away. So the player has no idea what they're looking at here. There's a crystal ball in the center. There are different units blocking a pathway. There's a shop. There's a king right there. I recommend you focus a little bit, you choose something to focus on. Maybe you show some zoomed in footage of some assassins coming, and the narrator can say something like, assassins have created a plot to take down the king. You can save him with careful planning, right? Something like that. Start with something a little bit similar. Start with something a little bit simpler visually to look at and understand, and then at the end, you would show a real match going with all sorts of stuff flying everywhere, okay? At that point, the player knows what all these things are, and they can appreciate all the badness going on. We'll keep watching it here. There's also some weird transitions where things like flicker. We see the king there for 1.5 seconds, and it's a little bit confusing. It'd be much nicer to see the king in his throne room with a nice fade. Or something like that. You play as the king. You must shop for units to defend your realm from assassins, right? It's really cool how the game shows off what the different units specialize in. I'm not sure if it talks at all about the traps you can put down to kind of get notice of when someone's coming. I also recommend that maybe a little bit more intense music. It didn't sound super intense.
And Windows.
Yeah. It didn't sound super intense, like there's a plot to kill the king, right? That sounds like a very serious thing that you need to be, okay, got to plan this out perfectly to protect the realm, right? All right. Thank you very much, dev team. Well done. Okay, next up we have Star Guardians. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure it's up. I'll go away. Here we are.
Today's local breaking news. Our town lake has completely dried up.
The devastating news of the town lake drying up is wrecking everyone's nerves. You, a bowl of water, is on the quest to revive the once beautiful lake. However, you alone isn't enough to solve the issue. Therefore, before you reach the dried up lake, you decided to reunite with other droplets in different houses, forests, and streets. In this puzzle platformer, you will need to maneuver your body to avoid falling onto the contaminated kitchen floor, escaping the deadly sun, and dodging the dirty trash. Make your way to the lake, and be water, my friend.
Okay, did it end with the title card? I'm not sure if it did. Hold on. Yep, it did. Awesome. Okay, so we'll let it play again. The first thing I have to point out is this is really cool, and I like the use of real-world footage. It's surprising. It looks really cool that you've kind of drawn on it and get the plot going. In the middle of this footage, there are really weird clips like this one, where the player looks like they're stuck. The player looks like they're stuck and nothing is happening, and then the game lags really strongly like that. That is not good. That makes the game look really unpolished. Also, this footage is extremely laggy. If you can find a beefier machine, or if you have a friend with a beefier machine who can record their playthrough of that area and send you the video footage, then that will make a huge difference. Otherwise, I think you got to cut this footage. It's just super laggy, and no one wants to play a game that's going to lag their computer. Okay. This game talks about its mechanics in that it's a puzzle platformer and that you're collecting other water droplets. But it doesn't say anything about changing forms. I don't think it even shows you becoming an ice cube, and it doesn't show you becoming an evaporation cloud, right? Those are like the really two cool mechanics. So make sure that you talk about, as water, collect water droplets to increase your mass and fill the lake. Find a cold spot like a fridge to become an ice cube and traverse dangerous landscape. Evaporate yourself on hot stoves to fly across the environment, right? That would really, really, really help, because right now the trailer makes it seem like kind of rollerball. You're just collecting your droplet of water, you're collecting other water, get to the end, right? If this is a puzzle platformer, talk about the phase changes, because that is where the puzzles come from, and that's where the game is most interesting. Okay? Okay, thank you very much, team. All right, next up, we have Smooth Monk Brain Studios. All right, here we go.
The Wild West Frontier, a place filled with hostile terrain, ravenous wildlife, and ruthless bandits. You, the mailmen, have all been chased out of town. It's up to you to deliver all them packages. The only question is, do you have what it takes? Navigate dangerous terrain across a variety of levels. Use your delivery training to solve puzzles and deliver packages. Uncover the truth behind the bandit operations in the ultimate Wild West delivery game, Fells Wargo.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so this is a good trailer. This is a really good draft. I think that, like Ish was saying in the chat, it'd be really helpful if when the narrator says that you need to deliver a bunch of boxes, a bunch of packages, if you show them, or if you show some mailboxes, right, when you say that. I think that the voice is balanced a little bit low. It's okay, but it would be nice to hear it a little bit louder, the vocal. I think there are some sections in here where the footage is doing something like throwing packages, manipulating packages, but the vocal doesn't really say it, right? I think that because this game has such a strong character and voice acting inside of it, like the tutorial character, like I really recommend you find that voice actor and ask them if they would voice act, for this trailer. as well. The current voice acting is pretty good, but the character in the game, if you have the character voice acting, then you can actually show the character. In fact, that character can be the first thing that comes out and says, "Hey there! Well, we've got a bunch of packages, and the bandits have really stopped us. What are you gonna do about it?" So, something like that. It's a shame because the game has that really cool character that you talk to in like every other stage, but they're not in the trailer, I don't think. Okay, so this is a really good trailer, team. Well done. I look forward to seeing how you change it and fix it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Next up, we've got Pentacle.